Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades. And let's get right into it here. So, right now, as you guys can probably tell, got a bit of a down day in the market. Bit of a down day. It was down about 1% on the SPY, 1.79% on the triple Qs here, and the IWM was down basically almost 1%. Dow Jones was down 1% as well. So lots of fear, probably some selling off ahead of Jerome Powell's testimony tomorrow before Congress. So that's not too surprising either. But again, it's always important to remember that we're still in an uptrend. A very strong uptrend. Is this coming to an end though? Is this where it all begins? We did actually hit my danger area. I say, like, my magical box in the middle of nowhere. But it's funny that we hit it and we start to reject afterwards. Um, it doesn't mean that we can't go inside of it, right, and further in. Which by the way, this is a very big range. It doesn't mean that we can't go in. This is a 12% range. Same thing for the triple Qs. It's a little bit of a smaller range. I think this one's like 8%, but overall, it doesn't mean that we can't go higher. We do have continuing bearish divergence building on the daily time frame as well. That's important to note. And we've been seeing big money, smart money, continuously taking profits along the way, right? But it doesn't mean that these dips aren't going to get bought up. We see constantly big buying on the Mag 7 stocks. The dips keep getting bought up. NVDA was down on the day and flipped green, right? It just shows you how willing people are to buy these stocks, these names right now. SMCI also flipped green. I was showing that it could possibly be finished here, and actually it did invalidate the wave one. So to me, this looks like it could be done, but we'll have to see. Maybe I could do a recount. Maybe this is wave one, right? So we'll see. But anyways, that's what I have for it right now. I'll continue to do my analysis on the SPY here. The daily time frame, we now have a red dot on the daily. Again, we've had many red dots before, but you need to know where we are in the cycle and how much green money flow we got going on, which is a lot on the daily. And the same thing on the weekly. But however, the weekly is showing us that the momentum waves are curling in, and we have bearish divergence on the momentum waves, right? So that's actually a bearish setup for the weekly time frame. The monthly time frame is still looking bullish, although these candles can take like a big change and like one big down move in the market. As we can probably tell, this candle right here back in November was looking extremely bearish, and it flipped to green because of the massive market pump that we got. So a massive market dump can definitely change things. I'm not saying that we're gonna get that. All right, so that's basically it. We could take a look at the triple Qs as well, being like, yeah, we've been seeing a lot of selling. IWM, funny enough, printed a red cross today, so we may see some more downside in the small caps, which is unfortunate because we do want to see the small caps break out, but we do have a rising wedge right now on the small caps, and it's very easily seen. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's just a rising wedge, right? It's a rising wedge. It's a bearish pattern, and it shows that we could be ready to take a pretty sizable dip if that's the case, if we break down from this pattern. But yeah, we'll see how everything plays out. Let me take a look at some individual names that a lot of people probably want me to cover. Let me just head over to my comment section very quickly. I don't think there's any new comments. Actually, maybe one person requested one more comment, but if you guys want to request, feel free to just leave your comment or your stock in the description. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. I'll take a look at the new one that someone requested. Someone requested for me to take a look at Blackstone. So again, I've mentioned this many times. I do not like any of the financials. I do not like any financials right now. And for a very apparent reason, you guys can tell that these banks, one after another, are going bust, right? I know it's not every single day that it happens, but there is a clear problem within the financial sector, given the bonds, the rates. The rates are extremely high, which means that these institutions, these financial institutions, have taken massive losses on their bonds, and they're not marking them to market. They're marking them to maturity, which means that they're never gonna sell. They're only gonna sell them when they're gonna just hold them until maturity, which is 20, 30 years from now. But any bank run could force them to sell it, and then suddenly they're insolvent, which is clearly shown in actually, I don't know if it's New York Community Bank, but it was actually SIVB. There we go. And the PacWest. So it's all these two banks are here in First Republic, which all went insolvent. And now, New York Community Bank purchased all these assets from Silicon Valley Bank. So now they're going bust. So we'll have to see. But yeah, overall, I do not like any financials. So someone's just asking me in terms of fundamentals. Yeah, that's the reason I wouldn't even look at financials. But if you're looking at the financials for a trade, I can give you a nice little setup right now. To me, this looks like an ABC, a little bit of an ABC, and you're gonna pull back down. But I don't know if this is gonna play out on the weekly time frame. If you're looking for a short-term trade setup, I don't really have one for you right now. To me, this looks like it's following the SPY, and if the SPY breaks down, then I would just follow the SPY from here. If the SPY breaks down, then you're gonna see financials start to roll over. If the SPY gets a melt up because of rate cuts and the markets, they're gonna print money, then these financials are just gonna start taking off one after another. You can run it through Market Cipher. Let's take a look very quickly. So it's showing us a 1, 2, 3, and then a 4 and a 5. So it's showing us that we should extend higher, but we're seeing decreasing green money flow, 4-hour time frame. Yeah, I mean that money flow is thinning. It's thinning. And then the weekly, let me see what the weekly's showing. It's showing strong green money flow, but we'll see. We will see. I do not like financials right now. All right, let's get on to some more stocks. I'll take a look at Starbucks. Starbucks, unfortunately, is breaking down now. So again, this is what I feared for Starbucks, is that if we started to take out this pivot low, that we would start to impulse down in a wave 3. So now to me, this looks like we may have finished our wave 2 top, and we're just going to start to go down in a wave 3, which means that maybe the markets are not going to get this pump that we're expecting, and we're going to impulse down. So that's what we're seeing right now. It's starting to fall apart. I don't know what the news is, and it's very apparent in other stocks as well, like Apple. If you take a look at Apple, right, we've been following this chart for quite a bit of time, and finally, Apple decided to impulse down. It's getting these gap downs, bad news after bad news. It's getting sued. 24% sales loss in China in the first 6 weeks of the year. So again, it's all bad news for Apple right now, and it is impulsing down. So this is not good, but we are entering a buy area for the wave 3, for the larger wave 3 at least. Doesn't mean we can't go lower. So the wave 4 could bounce at any moment and then get a wave 5 leg lower, which would finish up the larger wave 3. And then this one is much lower here, and a cycle primary count lower. And then this is my main area for Apple. But right now the buy area is between 173 to 163. So that's the buy area, and then we should get a bounce out of here. Although it may not be big, but we'll follow up once this wave 3 finishes. Okay, that's basically it. Let me take a look at Roku. So Roku, again, tough name to trade right now. To me, it looks like it's in a bit of an accumulation phase. It has met technically the minimum requirements for the wave 5 to be in. It's got a nice little bullish divergence. I would have to do a much smaller count for a wave 5, but I don't think we have it just yet. I think maybe Roku needs to push down one last time down to the $60 level, maybe the $59 level. Stop out a lot of people. It's a big psychological level, big round number, 60, and then maybe then you'll shake people out, and that'll be the low, and you'll take off. It also could fail if you go below this level, right? Then I would no longer like this trade. And again, I said it's a big range. So again, there's no guarantee that this is going to play out, but this is what I have for now. And again, these things, this is why you got to take your chances on these trades. We had these setups up here on Roku. I think we had a short area here. and then it bounced down, and then to me it looked like it was getting ready for another leg higher, and then my target from there was up here, and then we hit it to the dot twice, and then we reversed. Okay, let me take a look at Tesla. We'll take a look at Tesla. So Tesla actually had a nice rejection from our sell area and is impulsing down again, touching to the dot or buy area here and getting a little bit of buying right now. So look, to me, this looks like your wave one could have possibly finished today, and now you're looking for a wave two, and we'll see another five wave move down. Okay, so once we get our 5 wave moves down, and then we can call this, we'll call it Tesla finished, but it could take a while, right? So I won't like Tesla for a buy until this is done. But once we get across this pivot low, it could technically truncate and earlier, and then the cycle could be ended. But right now, EVs are in trouble. EV sector is a tough trade right now. If you look at all the EV stocks, Polestar, Lucid, Li Auto. Take a look at Neo, right? Lev. They're all in the toilet right now. All of these stocks are just so beaten down. I do not like them at all. Rivian too. Let's not forget Rivian making new lows. So yeah, that's what I had for it. And I know some people said like this wave 3 it's done. It's not gonna go lower, but it looks like it is. It looks like it is making lower lows. So we'll see. Let me take a look at one more name here. I think we will cover one more name. We'll take a look at TLT, then we'll take a look at some commodities as gold is breaking to higher high. So, all right. So TLT, the big question is the TLT low in? Is TLT it low in? We are seeing significant dark pool trades for TLT. I could just display them here for you guys. Dark pool data. We could take a look at. Let me just find all the dark pool trades here for the bond market. We saw major trades in the bond market. I'll just find it here. Enormous bond and treasury hitting. I think it was this tweet right here. Yeah, so I can just open this chart very quickly. But you can see that the total Vanguard bond market ETF, you're seeing these massive trades come in. And it's very similar to the TLT as well. TLT was up 1.35% after it's a GOVT ETF printed its #1 trade yesterday, which was actually, this post was sent today, but the print happened yesterday. And you can see the TLT is taking off. Now, could this mean that they're going to cut rates? Right, when we take a look at, is this the TLT chart? Where's my TLT chart? Or sorry, the bond yield chart. So we could see that the bond yields, have been rejected from my sell area since then. Was this it? Is this in? Is this level in? And we're just gonna fall apart and impulse down in a 5 wave move? Or are we gonna reverse up, which means higher rates in a lower market? But we'll have to see. But right now, I have this as the low has truncated and it's in. We've made a small C leg and that's it. Or is this a wave 2? We will know soon enough. If we get on the smaller time frames. It does not look that impulsive, but we have some nice gap ups here. But TLT tends to just gap up all over the place all the time, right? Given its yields, and they trade overnight, and sometimes the yields have a big move. All right, so that's basically it. And we'll cover nat gas. Nat gas is retracing up here. It is getting into some resistance at $1.90. If it gets above, then you have an impulse higher that could lead to the $2 level. But if not, your wave 4 is in, and you're just gonna get one leg lower in a 5 wave move down. And we'll take a look at gold. So gold, a lot of people are bullish on gold. I myself included. I cannot deny. My gold stocks are doing very well. But we could be double topping right now. It is extended on the daily time frame. It's had a very nice run. And to me, it looks like the dollar could be set to explode higher if the gold price is done here, and it's just going to reverse back down. So, but we'll see. It's a very interesting situation that we're in right now in the market. It's not easy to guess what Jerome Powell's going to say, although we got some pretty good hints of what he should do, but is he going to do the right thing, right? These politicians, I say politicians even though he's a Fed chairman, but they are highly influenced by the political leaders. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe and leave some tickers for me to check out for you. Actually, let me cover one more. I think someone asked me to cover AMD. I'll cover AMD last. Okay, so let's take a look at AMD here. So you obviously, it looks like you already have your wave 3 high in here, and this is just a fifth wave. You know, this is just a fifth wave, and it's nearing its peak. It's nearing its peak in terms of a 5-wave move here. Yeah. So this looks like it's finished right now, and you're going to get a larger cycle decline. So this to me looks like it could be the top. And again, don't quote me on it, but just looking at the patterns that are displayed here on AMD, this to me looks like it's the top. It could be the top. I say it's the top, but it could be. It could be. Let me just do some fib calculations very quickly to see what we can get out of this, right? I mean, we'll see. Let's see what we can get out of these calculations. I mean, yeah, you're in the sell area right now in terms of the fifth wave target. If we get on some smaller targets here, more accurate, right? Smaller time frames. Maybe I might like this for a short position. I mean, it's actually the shorter time frames showing that we should extend a little bit higher, right? But I could be wrong on my count. Maybe the third wave ended here, right? And this was an ABC, which would mean that this was just an ABC flat, right, for a wave 4, and the target is lower. So if I pull it from here, whoops, that's not it. If I pull it from here, in that case, that'd be a bigger problem, I think, for the AMD if the high is lower. I mean, it's not that big of a problem. It's a little bit lower, but overall, I would rely more on the larger target that we have right now and the danger area that you're in for the larger wave 5. Because if this ends here, then you're done. You're done, and you're already forming bearish divergence, and then you may not hit this target. Okay. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Peace.